Siegfried Piet Wortel was a man who built a massive criminal empire. He smuggled huge amounts of cocaine from South America to Europe, Asia, and Africa. For years, he was one of the most powerful figures in the drug world. He lived a life of luxury, surrounded by wealth. But his story is also one of betrayal, violence, and mystery. How did he rise to such power, and how did it all fall apart? Piet Wortel was born in 1969 in Alphen in den Rijn, a quiet town in the Netherlands. Not much is known about his early life, but by the time he was an adult, he was running one of the largest drug smuggling operations in the world. He was extremely careful to avoid the police, and for years his name was almost unknown. His network moved cocaine from South America to major ports like Rotterdam, Hong Kong, and Cape Verde. He made millions of euros through these operations and kept his activities hidden. In 2012, things began to go wrong for Piet. Police in the Netherlands intercepted a shipment of 1,100 kilograms of cocaine hidden in whiskey crates at the port of Rotterdam. The police had been watching Piet for a while and launched an investigation called Operation Tidore. They followed his movements carefully, and when they discovered the shipment, they acted quickly. Piet was arrested in Barcelona, where he was enjoying a Champions League soccer game from a VIP skybox. To gather more evidence against him, the police even bugged his airplane seat, hoping to catch him talking about his crimes. In 2014, Piet was sentenced to 7 years in prison for drug smuggling. However, he didn't stay in prison for long. In 2016, he was given parole and fitted with an ankle monitor. But instead of finishing his sentence, he escaped to Suriname, a country in South America where Dutch authorities couldn't easily reach him. In Suriname, Piet continued to live a lavish life, protected by powerful connections. He was reportedly still running his drug empire from there, showing that his influence had not diminished. In 2019, Piet faced a new problem. A shipment of 400 kilograms of cocaine went missing, and the people Piet trusted to handle the shipment claimed the drugs had been seized by authorities. However, rumors spread that these men had actually stolen the shipment for themselves. These men, Roy Hari, Romeo Donk, Kelvin Maynard, and Gensiel Feller, suddenly appeared to have a lot of money, which made Piet suspicious. In the criminal world, betrayal often leads to violence, and this situation was no different. Piet reportedly promised that anyone who profited from the missing shipment, even by a single euro, would pay the price. What followed was a series of shocking and violent events. The first person to face consequences was Gensiel Feller. On August 3, 2019, he was shot 3 times in Almere, but survived. Fearing for his life, he fled to Curaçao, a Caribbean island, hoping to escape danger. However, Piet's influence reached far. On September 2, 2019, 2 gunmen ambushed Feller's car outside a deli in Curaçao and killed him. Back in Suriname, 2 other men connected to the missing shipment, Roy Hari and Romeo Donk, also disappeared. Hari's burned-out car was found in a remote area, but there was no sign of him or Donk. Their families reported them missing, but their whereabouts remain a mystery. Suriname's dense jungles make it easy for people to vanish, and many believe they were silenced to keep the truth about the missing shipment hidden. Kelvin Maynard, a former professional soccer player, was the next victim. On September 18, 2019, 2 men on motorcycles shot him while he was waiting at a traffic light in Amsterdam. Despite being badly injured, Maynard tried to drive away but crashed into a fire station. He died before help could arrive. Within a few months, 4 men connected to the missing shipment were either dead or missing. This left many wondering if Piet had masterminded the violence or if someone else was behind it. Even as these violent events happened, Piet's empire continued to operate. In April 2020, Belgian authorities seized 4,200 kilograms of cocaine at the port of Antwerp. The cocaine, hidden among frozen fish, was worth more than 200 million euros on the street. 9 men were arrested in connection with the shipment, and many of them were tied to Piet's network. This was one of the largest drug busts in European history, showing just how massive Piet's operations were. Piet's influence wasn't limited to the Underworld. His empire reached into unexpected places, including professional sports. Dutch soccer player Quincy Promes, a former Ajax player, was accused of being involved in a cocaine smuggling operation connected to Piet. Prosecutors said Promes and an associate, Marilio V., had imported 1,300 kilograms of cocaine into the Netherlands via Antwerp in January 2020. The cocaine was hidden in a shipment of salt and marked with a black tiger logo. Promes allegedly arranged for runners to retrieve the cocaine and met with his associate at a shisha lounge in Antwerp. When Belgian police intercepted part of the shipment, Promes sent a text message saying, "Shit, man, so the other half is safe. Risk of the job." Prosecutors also claimed that Promes had to pay Piet a fine of $250,000 as compensation for a shipment of 400 kilograms of cocaine that had been stolen by a rival gang. This payment showed just how much control Piet had over his network, even influencing high-profile figures like Promes. Promes later moved to Spartak Moscow in 2020 and did not appear in court to face these charges. In addition to the smuggling allegations, Promes was charged in a separate case for stabbing his nephew at a family party in 2020. Prosecutors have requested a 2-year jail sentence for serious assault. These cases revealed how deeply Piet's operations had infiltrated different parts of society. Piet's ability to avoid capture came to an end in March 2022. Acting on a tip, Dutch authorities learned that Piet was traveling from Suriname to Aruba using a fake passport. When he arrived at Queen Beatrix International Airport, police arrested him immediately. Piet was extradited to the Netherlands, where he faced charges of money laundering and involvement in the murders of those tied to the missing shipment. In court, Piet denied all the charges against him. He called the accusations nonsense and claimed he was being unfairly targeted. However, an official report from the National Criminal Investigation Department revealed details that painted a very different picture of Piet's activities. The report described an incident involving a plane carrying 400 kilograms of cocaine that had broken down near the Tibiti River in Suriname. According to the report, Piet sought help from powerful figures in Suriname, including former military leader Desi Bouterse and his son Dino. Piet reportedly said, "Dino went to get that thing. No problem. If Dino gets there, Dino will burn the plane, and the story will be over." The report also suggested that Piet gave half of the cocaine to Bouterse as part of their arrangement. This scary account showed how deeply Piet was involved in every aspect of his operations, and how he used powerful allies to maintain control. While in Suriname, Piet lived a life of luxury and privilege. He reportedly had connections with high-ranking officials, including the country's vice president. There were also rumors of gold bars hidden in his villa, but police raids found nothing. Many believe Piet was tipped off before the searches, further proving the depth of his connections. The dense jungles of Suriname provided a perfect backdrop for Piet's operations. With 85% of the country covered in thick forest, it was easy to hide drugs, money, and even people. The disappearances of Roy Hari and Romeo Donk remain unsolved, adding to the many mysteries surrounding Piet's empire. As of 2023, Piet Wortel remains in custody in the Netherlands. Prosecutors are working hard to gather enough evidence to keep him in prison, but Piet's lawyers continue to fight for his release. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of his empire are still being felt, from the lives lost in the fallout of the missing shipment to the high-profile cases involving people like Quincy Promes. Piet Wortel's story is a frightening example of how power and greed can corrupt. He built an empire that stretched across continents, but it came at a great cost. His life was filled with betrayal, violence, and unimaginable wealth. Yet now he sits in a prison cell, awaiting his fate. Was it all worth it? Or was this the inevitable end for a man who believed he was untouchable? What do you think about Piet Wortel's story? Was he a criminal mastermind who ruled with an iron fist, or was he just another player in a dangerous game? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting true crime stories. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.